host, Edward J. Williams. And on this show, we highlight the ingenuity of Liberians in and out of Liberia by sharing their successes, challenges, entrepreneurial endeavors, and much more. The 1847 show also promotes the Liberian culture by creating a space for individuals to learn the history of our nation, to find solutions to the problems that affect our country today. For this and much more, stay tuned for all things Liberian. We'll be right back after this short break.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C, O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.
Hello, my name is Grace Joma Baba, founder of Destiny Creative Organization and owner at Janice Sweets. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things Liberian. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things Liberian.
Welcome back. You are watching the 1847 show, and this is season 2, episode 7, which is part of our series called Enhancing Education. This series highlights visionaries who are dedicated to solving real-world challenges by leveraging innovative educational solutions. We delve into the myriad benefits that education enhancement brings, from the evolution of teaching and learning methods to the recognition of those making momentous impact within our educational sector. Whether you are a student, a lifelong learner, an educator, or an advocate for quality education, enhancing education offers a window into the future of learning and its ability to empower individuals in our nation, Liberia. Today's guest, we have Mr. Steve Dan and that of Mr. Evans Cholope, who are guests from the Concern for Youth Progress Liberia, respectively. Um, So today we are going to be having a discussion with those men on the Change Makers Conference 2024. But before we start to talk about all things like brand, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and stream to stay engaged. So welcome Mr. Steve Dan and Mr. Evans Cholope.
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Williams. Thank you. It's a pleasure for us to be here.
Yes. So welcome again, and just to let you know, we are being streamed on the KMTV platform and that of the 1847 show. Yeah. So to get you started, Mr. Steve Dan, can you tell us about your organization and what it does?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and it's indeed a pleasure to be here on the 1847 show. Concern for Youth Progress, which acronym as CONYOP Liberia, is a registered non-for-profit organization that is involved in youth empowerment, that is involved with mentorship, that is involved in the prevention of drugs use. And for over quite of time, CONYOP came to being in May 6th, right? Actually, it was 2018 when we started this unique institution. Our focus and our goal is to address issues that confront Liberian on a daily basis. So we are grateful to be in this space, and we are grateful to be contributing to the growth and the impact of our young people.
Thank you. Thank you. And Mr. Gibson, do you want to tell us a bit more about your organization, like some of those activities that you carry on a daily basis, or how are some of those ways that you people are impacting Liberia for our young people?
Yeah. So it's even Choro Prege.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have been having series of programs that addresses the issues of our young people, especially. We have a program that we call Books Not Drugs. We have been on our awareness campaign, and just to know, and interestingly, this happens before the International Drugs Day that was celebrated last month, wherein the world came into agreement that you know the evidence is clear that prevention is the key, and we started that before the work we agreed on it. This is something wherein we did the awareness to various schools, and we will embark on it again because the scope is large, but we had to run some other programs to like the educational program that we ran, the student career guidance program, wherein we came out of this program knowing that uh, our students leave high school, enter university, and after 3 to 4 or semester, they are changing the field of study because they don't have the strength, the skills, and interest. And there are a lot more that we also do.
Thank you, sir. So Mr. Dan, how did you hear about the Change Makers Conference?
So interestingly, we have always been following the Project Change Liberia page, Project Change International page, and remember that the last edition of this Change Maker Conference, we were at this conference, we had the opportunity to have learned a lot. We went also into the competition, but unfortunately we came at we didn't come out as a winner, right? And we thought it was to wait and see the next edition of this program to see how best we can come to this program this time around with a goal of winning. So when we heard about it through the page of the Project Change, we took advantage of it, we applied for it, and that's how we're accepted for the next edition that we attended.
So you talk about you people applied the first time and you participated. Unfortunately, you did not win. Considering that factor, what inspired you, or what really motivated you to say, hey, since the first time I tried and I was not successful, let me apply again to see what I can do 2024.
So the goal is, interestingly, we want an organization that we try to impact people alike. So we are telling people to push across their boundaries, right? We are telling people not to see failure as a means to an end. We are telling people to inspire more. So if we will not make ourselves available to challenge
Yeah, so thank you. This is indeed inspiring to other um, upcoming change makers. I mean, this is a message that indeed failure is not an option. You can still make use of other opportunities. But then we want to know more about the conference. And Mr. Cholope, you can just briefly speak to this. Can you share some of the key takeaways or insights you had during the change makers conference?
Yeah, there were a lot of things that I actually learned, and there are a lot of things that I got me inspired. But one of the key thing, and I took it as the number one, is the number one takeaway. It was the elevator's pitch. And after that session of the elevation speech, I knew that I have grown in some ways. Like after the first time we went to the Changemaker conference, it was actually the public speaking part that I grew into. And then this second time around, it is the elevations or elevators pitch, wherein your first time meeting someone, that connection, how can you keep it? How can you get the person attention to you? And I actually grew up in that, and it's kind of helping me. Another thing that I also got from the conference was the networking system. Don't be afraid of people. We all are human. Everyone is unique in their own way and in their own style. If you are supposed to grow up in another thing or another part of your life, you can change with the help of others. And that was another thing that I did. And also the Change Maker Conference, I also understood being on time. Yeah, I also understood that because the organizers, Project Change, they were actually at their best, I can say, because when I was giving feedback on that paper, I said 9 over 10, and I did that because yeah, there was some point in time the food never came on time, but it was okay. And then uh, another thing concerning the networking aspect was the last day we all that attended every organization we agreed to have a WhatsApp group chat, and the partnership is ongoing there. Some people have an organization having their programs. They send an invite, and we make it our business to try to be there. But it is going to grow. And then another thing that I also uh, took from that conference was teamwork, when we had to build the tower with that of the spaghetti, and I just forget it. And then
Marshmallows.
yeah, the marshmallows. Yeah, it was kind of difficult, but then it was just like we got to work it out together and see how best we can do it. So actually, these are some of the important takeaways.
This is good. So you actually get the people 10 or 9 over 10 just because of food giving.
Just few minutes.
All right. So Mr. Dan, considering some of those insights and lessons you learned from the conference, do you want to share with us how it has impacted you or how it has helped you personally and professionally?
Yeah, like I said, when I applied for that program, when they asked what was the expectation, I said we expected to learn more and gain more insight because every knowledge provided at the project change, the Changemaker conference, was actually important for the growth of our institution. We learn about reporting, right? Grant reporting. We learn about proposal. So these were skills that we as a non-profit, right? We are in dire need of. We didn't have those experience prior to our visit, our time at the Changemaker conference, but our time we spent at the Changemaker conference is worth a while because we took that away. And apart from that, we even learned the skill of networking. Like Ivan said, many of us we usually go to events, activities. We are confined. Most often, we just think our network are these more permanent people in the society. We forget to know that those are our cycle, those who we interact with on a daily basis, these are people that make up our network. So in the Change Maker conference, we took that away. Today, our network is growing. We have established a WhatsApp chat that we interact with each other, invite people on our programs. So there's a whole lot of takeaway, and we can applaud this Change Maker conference for that.
That's good. So considering the fact that you were talking about networking, so after the Change Makers Conference, is there any specific or new partnership or connections that you've had since you left the Change Makers Conference?
So we are still in the stage of seeing how best we can come up with some partnership programs. Actually, right now as I speak to you, we do not have a specific partner within the change maker that we are about to work with, but we are building those networks. And we can rest assured that as we leave this particular sector, as we continue engaging in that particular chat, I think we in maybe a not too distant future we can say that many organizations from that change maker conference will be having leg manders programs.
That's good. So, Mr. Cholope,
Yes, sir.
so considering your experiences at the Change Makers Conference 2024, and considering all those insightful things you gained from the conference, what advice will you give to someone who is considering to apply for the Change Makers Conference in the forthcoming edition?
Yeah, okay. So I would like to pull in your two forms. Those that attended for the first time and still have an opportunity to go back, know that, and those that have never attended the Changemaker conference, I want you guys to understand that there is no way that you will be called a loser if you attend the Changemaker conference, because it is not about winning the grants. It's not just about that. Knowledge from experts. It is you getting knowledge from your peers, colleagues that you guys are working in the same sector, and then don't have your mind on the grant that if I don't win the grant, and then I'm a failure. No, that's one advice. Number two is that attending the Changemaker conference, know that you are going to this Changemaker conference with a mindset that I am going to grow my network. Because if you grow your network, you grow yourself personally in your professional space.
Yes, thank you, sir. And again, today we are here with Mr. Evan Solokwe and that of Mr. Steve Down, and they are from the Concern for Youth Progress Liberia. And you are watching season 2, episode 7 of the 1847 show under the series Enhancing Education. And stay tuned for all things Liberian. Will be right back after this short break.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.
My name is Grace Choma Baba from the Girls of Destiny Charity Organization and owner at Janice's Snacks. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things Liberian. Follow the 1847 Show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 Show, all things like you.
Welcome back to the 1847 show. I'm your co-host Edward J. Williams, and this is season 2, episode 7, which is part of our series called Enhancing Education. This series highlights visionaries who are dedicated to solving real-world challenges by leveraging innovative educational solutions. So again, we are still here with our progress Liberia, and again, this is Mr. Evans Cholope, and this is Mr. Steve Dan. So, Mr. Cholope, can you just tell us about the specific project that your organization presented during the National Vision Plan of the during the Change Makers Conference 2024 that makes you guys to emerge as the first winner?
Okay, so actually we did this program called the Student Career Guidance Program, but after we all pitched our proposal, I noticed that it wasn't just because our proposal was the best. That's the reason we came out as number one winner. I noticed it was because of the teamwork. It was because of us following instruction, even though we weren't 100%. And the program is the program that took and we just concluded, and we will be sending a report very soon within 31 days. And actually, it was awesome. We had some challenges. There were some ways the program could have gone, but it never went that way. But we also had a fallback position, and considering the report or format that we are supposed to send our report in, we noticed that there were ways that also helped us because sure enough, Project Change understood that there will be challenges. So basically, that's what we actually did. The program that we pitched is what we actually undertook, the Student Career Guidance Program.
So you said that your project was the Student Career Guidance Program.
Yes, sir.
So I want to know the target for people in just high school or from the range, like for example, probably from kindergarten to 6th grade, or was it college students benefit from that?
Yeah, so we're students from various categories, like the senior high division. There were students also that just graduated from high school, and then first year or second year university students. They were also part of it. And most interestingly, there were students that are also into vocational studies. They were also part of it, and they benefited from it. And we actually went beyond what we planned for.
That's good. That's good. It was just unfortunate that you guys didn't invite me, so I did it for you as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, Mr. Dan, considering the project that you guys presented during the National Vision Plan that makes you guys to emerge as a during this conference. First winner is not a small task because considering that project, how does it align with the National Vision Plan or any specific goals that your organization has?
So the Student Career Guidance Program is a program actually intended to guide students in choosing a career. We built this program in a series: career planning, public speaking, speech writing and delivery. We also included application and CV writing. So this is a process of edits that we combine. I give these children or implement during this period of the entire training process. When we align this to our say that we on path, because our entails that young people should be educated, that they should be empowered. Feel we are trying to prepare or create the national leaders. So we align our vision with this entire fits the national vision plan. The national vision plan was how we address issue in a wholesome way, right, to affect national growth. So the program I think is a top-notch one. We have created this to ensure that we address series of issues in our society. One of those issues we try to address is the issue where we see our students entering colleges, and after 2-3 semesters, you have to change course. We also seem to address the issue where we have college graduates, we have high school graduates cannot compose an application letter, neither a CV. We also thought to address the issue where we have people presenting speeches. They have been comical, right? Many things on social media. Yeah, someone who leaves high school, right, presenting a speech, speaking publicly. You see that people have used their speeches as angry because they were presented well and they didn't or the phone. So major issues. I think we can simply change this particular program was a passion.
So, concerning the factor that people explain and project change organization has been able to empower you people to carry on this career guidance. Is it so? We apologize for the interruption with the network. And again, you are watching the 1847 show, and this is season 2, episode 7 under the series Enhancing Education. And we are still here with our guest, Mr. Steve Dan. So, as he stated earlier, we really want to know This program, we are anticipating to register this with the Ministry of Education. How are you anticipating to go about doing that, and how long do you think it will take for your organization to get to that point?
I currently we are already registered non for profit. So we just want to get that sectoral clearance, the right to host this program, because we want to give this program the kind of prestige that can attract more young people or more students to this particular program. So we want to register this with the Ministry of Education to make it an advanced activity for students. Because like I was saying previously, right, there are many places, many countries around the world that have career counselors, right? These students are being counseled from high school level. But when it comes to Liberia, it's not the same. There are other countries, they have a gap year where students will take a year out to concentrate and think on exactly what they want to do. But it's not like that in our country. So for that, we have to create a means or avenue where we can be able to train these students. We prepare them actively and accurately so that when they enter colleges, they can excel. That's our goal. Because many students go to classes, they want to say things in class, but they cannot speak up publicly. So it's a harm for them because it hampered your ability to learn. So these are processes that we try to address.
Okay, so Mr. Cholope, do you want to speak um, to when exactly did this project started, and when is it going to be completed?
Oh, okay. So we actually started this project June 7th, and we ended on the last okay, this on Saturday we ended the program, which was the 20th. Okay, yeah. So we ended it. We actually were supposed to end on the 13th, but there was a challenge in the hall that we were using for the teaching. So we had to use another place
Where was that?
there. So we were actually using the conference hall of Liberian Business Association. Uh, we on the EB Tobos Road. So we had to use another place. This was Saturday, and the students are anticipating their graduation that is slated for the uh, the 17th of August, and I'm sure you are going to get an invite.
Thank you. And if I'm invited, I will definitely make time to be there. So considering this program, I also want to know um, how was the attendance, and how did you get those people who attended? Was there like a radio broadcast, or was there a specific means that was used to reach out to people who had the opportunity to attend this program?
Yeah, so we reached out to students. We spoke with administrations, and we reached out to students. There were other schools where there were much smaller students that their parents will allow them to enroll into the program because of the time, and they feel like the place wasn't that not having security, which of course they never asked question of. But then we also plan on revisiting those schools for the cohort 2 of the student career guidance program, wherein we can do it within their school on the various campuses that we had those challenges in, and reaching out to other schools. The administration agreed also. The momentum was so hard. There was many students that started the program, and after doing the printing of T-shirts and things, gave it out free because we already had a funding. You see that after a while, some students are not coming, and these are the very students that are begging to enroll for the next cohort because we never establish this program in a way that we just want to give people certificates, or we just want the multitude of graduates, but we did this in a way that everyone should participate fully, and then you graduate, you know what you are going out there, what you are taking away. But if you miss 2 classes, definitely you are out.
That's good. And considering the challenges that you people face, um, is there any lessons learned that you could share that probably next time if you have similar programs that your organization could improve on to avoid probably parents doubting that there is no security to send their children, or people just coming in a day or two and leaving?
Yes, so to that, we actually came out with a solution to that, and we learned from that. So the next cohort, what we are going to do is we are actually going to work directly with the school's administration directly, and then parents will have more trust in it. Even though we went to school saying that if you want to trust it, go on our Facebook page, you see our works there. We are not okay. Yeah, say this like really, we are not behind the horse organization, and people were actually getting involved with it, but I think if we're working with the administration directly, we will have more trust, and then yeah, and we'll have that stronger network.
That's good. So, Mr. Dan, you want to tell us about some of those key outcomes of this project and how it has impacted your organization. Some of those changes that you've seen in your organization since you undertook this project. Have there been any changes, or have there been any impacts that you've noticed and you want to share?
Yeah, we ended this particular cycle this one Saturday, and the only song I could hear from the participant was they don't want to graduate, they still want to be a part of the program. It is because the level of relationship we built, the level of impact we made. Many of these students came to the program not even being able to express themselves. But today, many of them can stand before an audience, can articulate well. Many of them can prepare speeches that are accurate, right? So we created this in a way that these students will actually take something away. So all these students that are leaving the program, we can safely say every one of them are prepared, they talk in well. So these are outcomes that we are seeing currently. And they asking us for more time. They want more time. They just want to be in a program because they see that this is very unique and it has advanced their understanding. So these are things when you hear those who participate in your program, you hear those who are beneficiaries of your program, you hear them saying things like this, it motivates you more, right? These are direct outcome, direct impacts that have been made in their life. So I can safely say, yeah, we have impacted a lot of people. The outcome is there. Currently, these young students, you see them preparing CV, application, things they didn't even have any knowledge of. And it's even more to the extent that you can just ask one person a question and like, what should where should we should the date fall between in the application letter? A student will tell you quickly before thinking. They don't want to look at anything because the level of where we have impacted, they know where should be the inside address, where should be. So these are things that we taught these students. So they are coming out now with this advanced knowledge. I think it's a direct impact.
So, can you speak to like the numbers of students that you've impacted just from this project, or approximately, I don't know, but just speak to the number?
Yeah. So initially we had about 35 plus students enrolling, but today we can account for 18 to 22 students that successfully completed this program. The reason is we said to them, you cannot miss these programs are only run on Saturdays. These programs run on Saturdays. So you cannot miss two training or 2 days of teachings and you expect to come through this program. We will not do that. Because we don't want you leaving this program and still face the same difficulties that you came to the program with. So many of them we had to drop them.
So, considering the fact that Project Change had this national vision plan in your organization, which of course you are a winner, had the opportunity to participate in, and do you remember the number of participants that benefited from that conference? And if that is the case, what is your message to the Project Change family, like as it relates to the Change Makers Conference?
I I think we had in that project change conference we had approximately about 50 plus young people at that conference, right? about 50 plus young people coming from fewer organizations, right? 50 to 60 plus young people coming from fewer organizations. So what we can say is Project you have done immensely well. Let us safely say that Project you have done immensely well, and we can only say to Project Change, right, to advance the scope, because this is very good, right? Project Change, there are more organizations. Do you know we have many youth-based organizations that are in our space, but many of them are not well impacted, right? So to even lead or change is very difficult. So what Project Change is doing is very great, but I don't think Project Change will take everybody at a time, right? So they are working in their scope. But we can say to others who came through the program, we can say to you that what you have learned, right? You can take it back to your community. You can take it back to other organizations, right? And impact them. This is knowledge sharing. So you do not learn and you keep, right? You learn and you share to help other grow. This is why we are in this space.
That's good. So Mr. Chope,
Yes, sir.
do you want to speak specifically to the impact of the project that your organization held within your communities? Like what has been the impact of that project within the community that your organization serve? Because from what I learned, your organization is located in the Dubu Road Belt, and considering where your organization is currently situated, has there been any impact that you notice?
Okay, so yeah, to that, you found out that more of the actually enrolled in the program, they are actually from that part, that part of Pingsville, the Duboro end, and it is because most of these students they are familiar with the organization, they are familiar with people within the organization, they know or what we are capable of, they know the working relationship we also have with the schools within that part of Pingsville, and it actually impacted them a lot. And out of the 18 that are coming out, approximately uh, 12 persons are coming from that part where Tupelo part where our organization's office is situated. So the impact was immensely from that side.
That's impressive. That's impressive. So during the conference, is there any specific challenges that you people face? And can you just share some of those ways that you overcame that challenge?
Yeah. Okay. So the challenge that we actually had and a lot of people had during that conference, and they said it was, the time wherein we were given to pitch our project proposal, the time was that, okay, it was minimum. So yeah, so we had to be on double speed in presenting. And another thing that I took from there, even though it was a challenge, but then I knew that what we learned from the elevator's pitch, we just had to be specific and give, the most favorite part of the project to the judges. So we overcame that by the elevator's speech that we learned.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything you would like to say to those watching us today, like other youth-led organizations, which did not have the opportunity to partake in the Change Makers Conference, and that of other youth coming up who did not have the opportunity to also participate in your project, that is the Career Guidance Program. Is there any specific message you have for them?
This message is not actually coming, from within, as original. This was something one of the facilitators said. He also served as a panelist, one Leo. He said the first time he ever signed a grant proposal, it was through the Changemaker conference, and he signed that grant of 40,000, and that was his first ever grant. And he stated to us, and this is what I also want to say to the public, that no matter how hard it seems, you cannot be defeated except you try to blame it on others if you are not taking the blame. So we we from CONYOP, we have understood this, and this is the way we overcome our challenges, that we don't see failure as the reason to stop. No, but thank you.
That's good. So Mr. Dan, so lastly, before you send out your message to the followers, can you just speak briefly on the facilitators during your program, like the Careers Guardians program? Can you just speak briefly to that?
Okay, yeah, that's great. So we had great professionals at our program. We had Miss Kate Lamadan, who's a graduate of the La Cose. She was teaching our students CV and application and basic English, and she did well there as well. We also had Mr. Robert Wanyaru. He's worked for Care Liberia. He is also a professional in training young people. Specifically, he worked for We Care, to be correct before I be held accountable. So he worked for We Care, and he's one of the trainer at We Care. So he also led the students through career planning. We also had our great leader, Ino Zokra. He's a public speaker, and he's very excellent. He's from Team Stan Liberia, one of the people favorite team, as he called it. And he trained kids in public speaking. They are very excellent. So we brought him to train our kids in public speaking and speech delivery. So we appreciate them so highly for making this program a success. Without them, we couldn't have been where we are. Imagine that this was on a voluntary basis, right? This was on a voluntary basis. Whatever we did for them for transportation was just a compensation, because the knowledge part we could not pay them for it at the cost of every Saturday. It was not an easy thing. So it was great. We appreciate them coming to it.
So, would you like to send out your last message to those who listening to you or following this show?
Yeah, firstly, I would like to start by appreciating the Project Change team for their immense support to this particular initiative. It was actually great that we were part of the Change Makers Conference. We learned a lot. It was actually great that we came out as a first winner of the grand competition, and we were able to implement a program that is life changing. We can say to the public that those who are following us, we want to say, thank you for following, thank you for watching. We ask that you please, you can check up on CONYOP Liberia page. You follow our workings, you follow the impact we have made, and we hope that we can have the public supporting many other youth organizations that is in this space. The Project Change, CONYOP Liberia, the many others that are making immense progress, because we cannot change Liberia alone. We can do this together and one step at a time. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you to 1847 Show for hosting us. We appreciate all that.
I'll tell you whatever. But so thank you, Mr. Evans Cholope, and thank you, Mr. Steve Dine. And again, today we're here with Mr. Steve Dine and Evans Cholope, and they are from the Concern for Youth Progress Liberia. And you are watching the 1847 Show. This is season 2, episode 7 of the 1847 show under the series Enhancing Education. We partner with KMTV Liberia, and this is the 1847 show. You have been watching the 1847 show, and I'm your co-host, Edward J. Williams, and this was season 2, episode 7, which is under the series Enhancing Education. This series highlights visionaries who are dedicated to solving real-world challenges by leveraging innovative educational solutions. To watch upcoming episodes, please don't forget to follow our social media channels. Until next time, stay safe, God bless you, and God bless Mama Liberia. Thank you.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also don't formulate